like and subscribe. There is so much confusion going on in the United States. I can only attribute that to drugs. I mean, drugs were found in the White House, cocaine, and they swept that under the rug so quick. But the reality of the situation is that birds of a feather flock together. So if someone brought cocaine into the White House, they felt comfortable doing it, and they weren't the only ones doing it. Like I said, birds of a feather flock together. And when you look at what's going on in this country right now, either people don't know what they're doing or they're on drugs. The war in the Ukraine was lost at least a year and a half ago. Israel is losing also. There is no reason to defend Israel's genocide because we are not going to profit off of what's going on in Israel. All they're trying to do, they found oil in Palestine. Israelis are trying to take it, and that's all it is. And regardless as to whether Israelis own it or the Palestinians own it, whoever wants it will have to pay for it. So what difference does it make if you pay the Palestinians or the Israelis? So why are we spending billions and billions of dollars to help Israel take what belongs to the Palestinians when we're not going to get anything out of it? We will still have to pay for it. That's just throwing money away, and it doesn't make sense. And to even say that Israel is not committing genocide is asinine. It is ridiculous. It is a lie. All the facts are there, and they have even said it. What's really goofy is that the Europeans, they must be on some kind of drugs also, because the sanctions that the United States puts on other countries are hurting the Europeans. They're being hurt by the sanctions that the United States is putting on other countries. So why are they even putting sanctions on and hurting themselves? That doesn't make sense. Israel is totally loony, in my opinion. Netanyahu, you know he's a criminal. He's going to be taken. He needs that war to prevent him going to trial to be put on, to be convicted of stealing from the country. And not only that, the Israelis, calling themselves God's chosen people, are deleting their own people with the Samson policy and the Hannibal policy and the neighbor policy, which states that to delete an enemy combatant, we will take out our own people. Now we come to find out that the 24 people they're making a big deal about in the tunnel deleted themselves. They deleted themselves trying to put a bomb in a tunnel, and they deleted themselves. And then on October 7th, Hamas is responsible for 1,200 deaths. Hamas is responsible for 400. Israel is responsible for the other 800, taking out their own people. Why is the United States supporting this? Is somebody on drugs? And like, hey, I'm gonna tell you this. I will bet that if you give a drug test to the people that I've mentioned in the thumbnail, I will say this. I will say that 50% of them or more will be on drugs. 50%. I believe 50% will be on drugs, and the other 50% will probably be abusing alcohol. I would say that maybe 15 to 20% aren't on, don't have a drug problem. Don't have a drug problem. The whole idea of going to Africa and offering them $400 million to accept gay marriages when Russia and China is giving Africans billions of dollars, giving them military equipment, fixing and providing Africa with infrastructure so that they can do trade between each other, and then not understanding why Africa would not take the 400 million to legalize gay marriages is stupid. It's stupid. And then this whole idea of that you can identify with anything you want to be, if that isn't insane, I don't know what is insane. When you go to the store to buy apples, are you going to bring back oranges and say, well, they were out of apples, but I identified these oranges with apples? That don't even make sense. A woman is not a man. And then another thing that don't make sense in this country, and I'll tell you this for a fact, every single person that had that transgender operation, they wish they could undo it. They wish they could undo it, all 100% of them, because they have to take all kinds of medications because of those operations. They have to take all type of medications so that their body can function like this. And guess what? A man changing to a woman, body's not going to function properly. Body's not going to function properly. No way in God's green earth you can turn a man into a woman, or a woman into a man, and stop her body from functioning the way God intended it to. But see, this country pushes this sick narrative. Then the foods we eat, my goodness, it's illegal in other countries. Only, in my opinion, only drug addicts and ignorant people would do this to their own people of the United States. And when I say their own people, I mean black people. We are a subculture. I'm talking about white people. They're doing that to white people. And to me, the only difference between those people in the thumbnail that are on that horse stuff is the fact that they can't afford the opioids that are being used, in my opinion, by the people in Congress. We had an opioid epidemic in this country. And guess who is responsible for it? The government. Because the government legalized the use of opioids by the pharmaceutical companies and all kinds of crazy stuff. And you know, and if you get COVID from, and if you die from the COVID shot and it's proven, you can't sue the pharmaceutical company. There's no way that you can tell me that those people in Congress and even in the Supreme Court are right in the head. I mean, you got states fighting to keep immigrants out, and you have the government fighting to put immigrants in, denying welfare and social assistance to Americans, but giving social assistance to immigrants that aren't even citizens, and then giving them citizenship, and you don't even know who you are allowing in. Then you got Trump giving him a second chance to complete a coup. I mean, everybody, I mean, what is this trial thing going on? He shouldn't even be, he should be in jail. Bill Cosby had to face criminal charges for rape. And Trump, he needs to be facing criminal charges for rape too, instead of just a civil case. This country is going nuts. So it's okay if you are a rich white man and you rape a white woman, because that's all Epstein dealt with young white girls. And I mean, these girls were young. I'm not talking about 15 and 16. They were younger than that from the pictures I've seen. But anyway, my whole point is that I don't do drugs, but I will dare the people I've mentioned that run this country, including the CEOs of these corporations, to take a drug test. You give them the athletes, and all they're doing is playing basketball. Give them to the people whose jobs matter. Give the drug test to the people whose job matter. Then we'll find out what's going on with this country. Like and subscribe. Talk to you later.